Hello, welcome to the ROLLERCOASTER Talk, where we talk about the highs and lows of our daily life with our dearest hosts, George Lupenza and Chiku Athuman. Buckle up and enjoy the show. Today we'll be talking about why is violence tolerance a relationship standard? George, hi, welcome.
Yeah, how are you, Chi?
I'm good. How is the weekend?
So good. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So you have seen what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
real issue. It's a real
It's
issue.
a very sensitive matter.
Yeah.
When you hear about violence, what comes into your mind?
Balance. What comes in my mind, obviously, is it's all about abusing somebody's boundaries, and this can be in many ways, especially in relationship, mentally, physically, psychologically. So, in any kind of way that your partner decide to abuse your boundaries that you have set, I term it as a violent act. Yeah.
Okay. So you have said we have types of violence. I've heard you mentioning.
Yeah.
Can you maybe try to explain to us in a little bit of a sense?
When you talk about maybe mental violence or abusive behavior, mentally, is that thing of whereby like your partner does not want you to do this, but you're doing it anyway. It's not physical, but it's something that has to do with his mental health. And because he or she is your partner, he doesn't know how to tell it to you because it's something that he knows you know about it, but you decide not to respect it.
Okay.
You see, so that's mental violence, and it goes in many kind of ways, and it's hard to distinguish if you are into a relationship that you have been going through that kind of cycle over and over again. But when you talk about physical violence, we all know about it. We know.
Sorry. So mentally, you mean if I have a partner and they told me you're not worth it, or
Yeah.
I regret loving you.
Yes.
That's mental.
That's mental violence. They're simply manipulating you.
That you're not enough.
You're not enough, so that they can fulfill their own desires. But
Be superior.
they're superior. But at the end, they leave you broken. They are breaking you mentally, and you cannot no longer see yourself as you were seeing yourself before.
Okay.
You see, and. So that's mental violence, and obviously a lot of people in relationship are going through that.
Okay. And I heard you mentioning the physical abuse.
Yeah, physical abuse. You talk about rapes and all these kind of things. You see people are fighting each other into
Beating
each other up. You see all these kind of things. Yeah, mistreatment, physical mistreatment that we see are happening.
So it's all about the body, right? Yeah. So it's raping, the beating, the slapping, the punching,
and
the
sometimes
pushing.
For me it goes even beyond that. Sometimes even cutting down basic or necessities that someone needs to be provided. Something like you need to provide for your family or for your wife.
And that's financial, I guess. Yeah.
Financial, yeah.
Okay. So we have gone past the physical abuse, the financial abuse, and the mental abuse.
Yeah.
So back to what we're going to talk about today. Do you believe if someone tolerates a violent partner, it's a basic standard to be in a relationship?
Tolerating, the issue of tolerance, it depends on how the person defines tolerance.
Okay.
We miss out to really distinguish between patience and tolerance into violence.
Okay.
So a lot of people, they tolerate violence in the name of being patient.
Okay.
While at the same time they're being violated. And most of the people, they even don't know that they are being violated.
Okay.
So that's why they stay in the kind of relationship that is really violating them.
Okay.
Because they don't understand the fact that they are simply being violated. So they think they are simply being patient, you see, about the situation. So I see it is the misinterpretation of the whole thing. The moment you get to interpret it in a way of like it's a violent act, then you see a person will stand up and then see what action a person can do. But you figure out that person has already tolerated the violence into a certain point that
Hospitalized, mental illness.
Now it's critical.
Yeah.
The situation is critical.
So meaning it's not a relationship standard. Patience is a relationship standard, but tolerance it's not. Yeah.
It is not. It is not, and it will never be.
Okay. So maybe we should get to discuss the source of this,
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, because when you get to tolerance, it's all about the head.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning you've been training yourself to handle such things enough for you to want to stay.
Yeah.
Enough for you to want to continue being in a relationship.
Yeah.
So maybe you could tell us why this? Why does someone choose to stay? The source of it.
I think we should discuss this because it is a broader issue, and I cannot even talk about it in a way like I can say, oh, the source is this. I think it requires is for us to discuss, and also for our listeners also to contribute about it. But on my view, I see that the source of it is or maybe I can say it begins with the ignorance. Ignorance in terms of ignoring the basic factors that has to deal with your relationship. Like what I can say is a lot of people get to do whatever they are doing into their relationship, like violating their partner, not because that was the primary goal of them being into relationship. They are doing it because they think if they do that, they may make a statement, or if they do that, they'll get this kind of result. But it's simply failing to communicate. Like they don't understand how powerful communication is and how to really use communication into expressing their feelings, into expressing their emotions. So because they fail to understand the whole concept of being educated in relationship communication, they end up, violating their partner. So I see it starts from the individual themselves, failing to really get to, understand the relationship communication and stuff.
Yeah. I would like also to add on that. I don't believe if someone will just wake up one morning, even before marriage or even before relationship, and say that I'm a violent partner.
Yeah.
Meaning it starts in the community first.
Yeah.
It starts on how they grew and saw people, how they handle things.
Yeah.
For example, if you're a guy and you see your father beating up your mother, and they tell you the mother did not understand, so you get to put in your head that if I want a woman to sit down and respect me or listen to me, I'll have to beat them.
Yeah.
Or if a woman doesn't listen to me, I have to beat them.
Yeah.
If a woman doesn't respect me bringing food to the table, I'll have to not bring the food to the table.
Yeah.
If others say that if you tell a woman she's very beautiful, she'll go to someone else because she'll be overconfident. What do? You degrade her self-esteem. So they become telling you you're worthless. They know you're beautiful. They know you have impact in the family, but they degrade it so that they can be dominant to you. So I believe it starts from the family.
Yeah.
It starts on how they grew up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just have trauma, because hurt people.
That's a huge point.
Yeah, hurt people. Because if you're happy inside, or you had a good growing up, you just want to spread love.
Yeah.
But because you have trauma, maybe your parents did you so, or mother issues.
Yeah.
If
Parenting.
guys have parenting issues, if they have that, you become the person that you hate. If you hated your mother so much, obviously you hate all women.
Yeah.
If you hated your father too much, obviously you hate all men.
Yeah.
You know, because violence goes both ways. So I
Yeah.
believe is how we grew up. It's how we were raised.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's not. You know, you could find your family to be very sweet, but you have mental illness. You know,
Yeah.
there are people who have anger issues. Their parents were very sweet.
Yeah.
You know, the wife is very tolerant, but people just have mental issues, anger issues, narcissists. Narcissist is not a matter of growing up. It's a person themselves having mental illness. So
Yeah.
I believe the source of that is people growing up into some place.
So basically, you're talking about the foundation of a person.
Yes, the
Was
upgrowing.
the upgrowing of a
Yeah.
person, and you get to understand the upgrowing and upbringing of a person.
Yeah.
You get to understand why are they doing what they're doing.
Yes.
You see, and because now we as human, for what I know and what I believe, we are like a computer.
Yeah, we're wired.
We are wired, and you know, you can if you can install a certain programs in your PC, means that those programs, if they are being supported by that PC, means they will
They're going to do exactly what they're supposed to
do.
Yeah.
So in your upbringing, if you were installed certain kind of drivers, certain kind of softwares
Yeah.
in you, you're not aware of it.
You're going to put, yeah.
For me, I think the threatening part about being violent is most of the people, they don't realize it until they have violated some beloved ones
Yeah.
who they were into relationship with. Because those hatreds, those, you know, mistreatment behaviors, they were installed in them without them being aware of. Like you have said, they're bringing, if they are coming from the family that was violated, it was full of violence, then you see. So as you're saying, and another issue, mental issue.
Yeah.
We figure out, like, a lot of people get to find out when they're in the marriage that they have mental issues.
No, some people don't even find out. Narcissists think they are right.
Wow,
They're
that's
always right. So
that's a huge problem.
yes. So if I beat you, it's what was the source? You know, it's not me beating you. It's you
Doing
deserve,
whatever you did.
Yeah,
so
you deserve the beating.
You deserve.
So it's not my
Wow.
problem. You know, this is the aftermath of what you did. So if I tell you like, why did you beat me up? You'll be like, why did you do this? You know.
Wow.
So there are some people who know that they were wrong, and some people who do not know because they think they are right. You know, and it goes both ways. You know, when I say hard people, that means it's someone who's violating. What if there's someone who's being violated? You know, for example, females. You know, I'm a female. I get to talk about females. You'll talk your part.
I know.
We are raised in a community where we have watched our mothers sticking in years of marriage. And when something happens, they tell you, do you know what happens inside? You do not know.
Yeah.
So just be patient, be tolerant, and move on. You have kids. You cannot go back home. So
You have image to keep.
yeah, we have image to keep. You cannot come back home.
Yeah.
Being divorced is a bad thing. So you see that if I'm violated emotionally or physically, even if I do go to my parents, it's a standard to them that you have to stay. So in my mind, I'll say, let me tolerate this. You know, or you love a person too much and you think you'll fix them and you choose to stay. Why? Because it's the standard. Change your partner. Build your partner. But some people are just not in changing, you know.
Some people are not in changing.